Joined here by Kelvin diving coach Aaron Paskvan, and coming off the heels of an MIAA championship for the Kelvin men's and women's swimming and diving teams. And we're also approaching the NCAA Division III Diving Regionals, which will be this Friday and Saturday down in Granville, Ohio, on the campus of Denison University. Aaron, first of all, let's just quickly touch on the fact that you were part of a couple of MIAA championship teams again, and your divers played a factor in it. Just talk about your thoughts on last weekend.
Oh, very fun time. I think anytime you can win a conference championship, it's a big statement of the hard work that these kids put in and the dedication between being a student athlete and the culture around our program and the traditions we've built around our program. It's a fun time. I think seeing these kids, our hard work kind of pay off, and their performances. I think we had tons of lifetime bests. I know we set several school records, but diving wise, I think for us, we dove really well. We had one session that was a little off, but I think most of the other sessions we could look back to and see the fruits of our labor. And coming into the regional here, I think that leads us to this next step. A little bit different in years past. We've usually had 2 weeks off before the regional. This year we have a quick turnaround to the very next weekend, which I kind of like because of the way we've been training at a high level each week, and we try to up our level of performance each week so that maybe we're peaking here at the end. And this is the meet where you want to dive your best because it's the one that counts the most to get you through to the national meet.
Yeah. Well, you were part of the committee that helped get this whole regional process together going back about 3-4 years ago. Talk a little bit about the format and how it all plays out, how you do qualify, and how things will play out this weekend as far as structure.
Okay. Well, the qualification scores are set at the beginning, coming into the beginning of the season, and as a diver, you have to meet the standard twice during the dual meet season, or once at your conference championships. And then you're allowed to attend the regional and compete for a spot to go into nationals. From there, the number of divers in the country with the number of divers in your region, there's a ratio that's equation that's formulated, and that gives you how many people are admitted from your region into the national championship meet. Right now, I'm not sure where the numbers are right now, but I think we're usually one of the tougher regions in the country, and one of the larger regions in the country. So we'll see how that shakes out for us. And then the process this Friday, I think there'll be one female women's board and one men's board contested Friday, starting at 2 p.m. And then the men will follow, or the men will go first, and the women will go second. And then the next day they'll kind of flip-flop and go at it again on the opposite board the next day and see where we get and run the equation there and see who gets through to the national meet. I think from that process, I'm really, really happy. I think in the 3 years that it's been contested, the regionals, I think when you look at the national championships, the regionals have brought the best divers to the national championships and at the right time of the year when they're peaking, and it's one of those great things to see is good, healthy, honest competition, and especially seeing the student athletes at the top of their game, when they're in their fittest and performing the best.
But you have divers from both your men's and women's teams competing. Talk a little bit about the folks that will be representing the Knights this weekend.
Yeah, we've got two males and two females. On the male side, we got Dirk Tanis. This is his second time there, making the regional, and hopefully last year was a big learning experience. I think from a performance standpoint, looking at last weekend, he had very consistent performances, and that last session was probably one of the best runs he's had on his 6 dives. Even going into the morning, he probably had one of his best 11 dive runs of the year. So I think the signs are pointing up for him, and we can see what he can do. Our second male is Mike Mottman. He was in the hunt there. He was within 10 points of the lead, give or take, back and forth throughout that competition at the conference championships. And I think he's got enough DD and dives to go into regionals and see if he puts them up and down and kind of put some entries on them. Who knows? Maybe he can get through. Either of the boys, if they put their dives vertical and some entries, I think they can get through. On the women's side, we have Sarah Bradley, who is a returning national qualifier from last year. For her, I hope she uses some of that experience to lean on and to know how to manage her emotions and get to the meet. I think diving-wise, she's been steadily improving since she spent a semester abroad in Peru. That was great for her personally, but diving-wise, she missed some of the reps, but she's now getting to the point where the reps have caught up a little bit, and she's in that groove. Just a little bit shorter season, so for her, but she did the work and got herself back to where she was last year, and got her qualifying scores at the conference meet last weekend. So she's in the regional, and we'll see what she can do. And then there's Nicole Engerak. She again, another second-time person around. She made the regional meet last year, and then I think last year we had a little bit of a physical issue going to the emergency room on Monday, and then she dove on Friday last year, which was quite amazing. But this year, hopefully we'll avoid that this year and have some smooth training this week and get prepared and go into that meet with a little bit better physical fitness, and then we can have a little more focus and patience rather than working on pain management type things.
You talked a little bit about how this is one of the tougher diving regionals, and that certainly played out in past years. Just talk about some of the other competition, the divers that you'll see. I mean, there's some good ones, aren't there?
Yeah, there's going to be good ones. I mean, from Minnesota to Ohio to Indiana to Michigan. There's tons of good diving in Michigan. Our conference alone, I think we're sending probably 6 or 8. We're sending 4. I think Albion's sending 2. Hope's sending 2 at least. I mean, we got a good, healthy contingent from our conference that's going to be there contending, so that'll be nice to see some of our fellow MIAA conference members to kind of mix it up with, and also get some camaraderie going, have some fun there. Around our region, there's in Chicago, Illinois, there's always been good competition coming out of there. I think over the past 3 years, probably 7 of the 8 championships for each gender has been out of our region. We've let one get away. So I think when you're at this meet, you run into the best of the best, and that's what you want. You want good, honest, healthy competition, and put up your cards and push it into the middle of the table and see where you end up.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We'll be following those results closely, and thanks for the preview and thanks for the thoughts.
Thank you.
Alrighty.